Welcome back, everybody, to Maverick Esports, and we're getting right into our League of Legends draft action here. My name is Zojalix, and I'm joined here with Perkshaw. Perkshaw, you're the League of Legends expert here, so why don't you go ahead and talk us through this draft?
So we are just finishing up the first round ban phase. Maverick Esports on blue side with Oriana, Lulu, and Talia ban. University of Akron with Ezreal, Caitlyn, and Nidalee ban. Maverick Esports for first picks the J4, likely going in the jungle. We Up next we've got Akron here waiting on their first pick, which is going to be lock it in here. Kha'Zix.
Kha'Zix.
Also going to be in the jungle. From what I've seen, that's his primary champion of choice. So
For sure. Those definitely seem to be pretty standard picks right now. I've seen a lot of J4 just in a little bit that I was watching from our League of Legends squad. Although, granted, when I watched the League of Legends squad, they didn't have the sub like they have today. Their coach, Ollie, is going to be subbing in on that jungle side. So excited to see what he's going to be able to do here. And now we've got Akron picking up the Rel. Again, pretty standard support pick. Has a lot of engage opportunities here. From the comp for Maverick Esports, what do you think they're going to be pulling out here? Seeing these two champions, do you think they already have a preset comp that they're going to be going for, or
they definitely have something in mind that they're going to be going for sure. I think they'll probably play a longer range, maybe safer bot lane. Maybe not, though. We've got the Alistar on the support. Could be looking for some heavy engage here to go along with the heavy engage from Rel to try and fight that back. Samira to go along with that. Not safe or long range whatsoever.
Yeah, that's very true. Samira, very close range, very. It looks like they're going to be going for a pretty dive-heavy comp here, especially in that bot lane, getting ready to combo with the J4 engage, the Alistar engage, and just the heavy close range presence from the Samira. So wouldn't be too surprised to see a dime comp coming out here. And then we have the Silas getting picked up on the side of Akron to round out this first round pick. Kind of seeing almost similar style here with a dive comp coming in from Akron as well. I don't know, maybe Silas kind of counteracts that a little bit. I'm not as familiar with Silas, but we'll see what happens as we get looking into what they're going to be banning out here in this second round.
Silas is definitely a good pickup from Akron here, as the Alistar ult is extremely powerful. So having that on Silas is going to be huge in team fights. As the second ban phase here starts, we've got Akron banning Annie, and then Maverick Esports banning out Zaya.
Interesting choice banning out the Annie. Now, again, I'm not as familiar. I just know that typically Annie doesn't see too much light unless it's something recent where she's just gotten really strong and is a lot more meta right now.
And that is exactly how it's been going over the last few months. She's been pretty strong. Her one-shot potential is just really high, as per usual.
That'll be really interesting to see, and especially, too, with the comp that they're going for. Tibbers does give a lot of opportunities for some strong dives, being able to use Tibbers to eat up those turret shots.
True.
And we'll see what Maverick Esports are going to be banning out here, and for their second ban, looking like the Fiora ban coming out. Is Silas being played in areas other than top? Otherwise, I wouldn't be seeing a Fiora ban knowing if they're picking Silas for that top lane.
Silas is definitely going mid.
Okay.
I was looking a bit at their mid. He plays primarily mages, but also Silas, like control mages and then Silas. So that's going to be going mid.
Okay, for sure. All right. Akron going to be picking up the Zeri on that to round out their bottom side. And then we'll see here, because right now we're seeing a lot of similar picks between heavy damage, high dive possibilities. So I'm excited to see kind of which team is going to be out diving. I'm going to be expecting a very bloody game between these two teams.
Definitely.
And I think it's going to be great. Ooh, and a Ziggs to get picked up for our mid lane. Man, I remember the days when people took Ziggs ADC. Those were fun. I loved playing Ziggs in that bottom lane. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and to round out this side for Maverick Esports, let's see who they're going to be picking to go in their top lane.
K'Sante.
K'Sante being a very, very powerful top lane pick. Uh, Makes a lot of sense to see that coming out here on the side of Maverick Esports. And now for Akron, who they're going to be rounding out here for their top lane as well.
You know, I would hate to be the Kazakhs in this game. This isn't going to be a game where he's going to be able to pick people off very easily. His only real options here are Samira and Ziggs. Ziggs isn't the easiest to pick because he's just got his W. He can just bounce away, and Samira just has a good chance that she'll kill you instead.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think, honestly, in this draft, looking at this draft, it seems to be a lot more favorable of Maverick Esports in this. Now, I might be a little bit biased, being just, wanting our team to be the ones to win, but from seeing a lot of that, Kazakhs has a lot of engaged potential, but at the same time, there's a lot of counter engage that can come on the side of Maverick Esports between the Samira having a lot of high damage output, Ziggs having the W, and even having the Alistar to be able to go in if for some reason Kazakhs is able to get get an engage onto that Samira. It can very easily just be Alistar saying no and pushing that Kazakhs right out of there. Now suddenly all that burst from that Kazakhs is gone.
Right. We've got Urgot locked in as Akron's top lane. Yeah, overall, I'm definitely in favor of Maverick Esports' draft here. I think Akron's a little all over the place with kind of what they want to accomplish. But of course, the draft isn't everything, so we'll see how each team takes their own champions on the Rift.
That's true. It is very much. That's the cool thing about League of Legends is you can always have so many things that can happen throughout any sort of game. Whether it may look like one draft goes one way, even if you lose the draft, if you're playing better, that's what it comes down to. So I believe we have time for a quick break before we get onto the Rift as we start getting things ready. So with that, we're going to go to a quick break here, guys, but we'll be back here very quickly as we quickly shift into games. So don't go anywhere, guys. Maverick Esports will be right back in just a little bit.
Oh, here we go. K-Top. We're students at Minnesota State Mankato, and we had a big idea. Turn our love of gaming into a varsity esports team. In our first year, we earned a national championship and created a fun and friendly community. Be a Maverick. Learn more at mnsu.edu.
Stay in the loop with Mavericks Esports. Sign up for our newsletter, scan this code, or visit esports.mnsu.edu and follow us on social media at esportsmnsu.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be getting onto the Rift here any minute now as the teams are picked. The spectator delay is in and rolling. And let's see how this match will be going up between Maverick Esports and the University of Akron League of Legends. Wow, they've got somebody running a classic no skin. There's always got to be one. I swear, on every game, there's always one person
always got to be one
who never has a skin. All right, we are on the Rift and ready to go. Let's see what these teams are going to be cooking up here as we've got pretty standard starts happening all across the board. The J4 going up on the side of Maverick Esports, going up towards that blue buff. And we've got the Kazakhs sitting around that red buff. Getting a lot of information here as they're holding that Riverside. Now, we talked a lot about the draft, how there was... draft was favoring a little bit more with Maverick Esports, especially with the Cassante just being an absolute tank up in that top lane and a lot of engage and counter-engage coming up from that other side. But it does look, I mean, at least on the side of the University of Akron, they do have the ability to theoretically lock down some members here. Now, it looks like they're going to get a little cheeky here, kind of playing a little bit of peekaboo, but on that upper side, there is going to be the Urgot kind of sneaking in. This is going to be a scary situation, but nope, never mind. Looks like the Urgot is going to be rotating out. And they better watch out for that cow, because that cow can do some dangerous work if it is left unhurted.
Yep, looks like we've got a top side start here for both the junglers. Likely going to be pathing bot side here when they get each of their bot lanes ahead so that they can snowball. Otherwise, our start here is relatively normal here. Nothing too crazy going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Pretty early trade happening here. That's going to be favoring out Akron on that bottom side. But, and an early engage is going to be coming out here in the flash, forced away from the Samira. And on the top side, we've got another engage happening as well. The Cassante getting a lot of damage onto that Urgot, but Cassante is going to be forced to withdraw as he gets very, very low. We're off to some pretty high action a lot earlier than I was expecting.
Yeah, most definitely. That's two large trades, level 1, that was not expecting to come out. It looks like mid was also having a pretty big trade there, but Silas healed up a bit from his W, so he's not as injured. But both the side lanes are definitely taking a punch at each other, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And right now we're seeing a pretty standard lead. It's pretty standard start here. The Cassante getting that pull in there, but Urgot's going to be getting that level up. And that will be Cassante choosing to not try and push a little bit too hard. You definitely don't want to get too crazy, but now on that mid side, we do have the gank coming in from the Kazakhs, and that will be Ziggs backing off with the W, just like we talked about during the draft. That W being a quick and easy escape for Ziggs, not having to blow any summoners on that one.
Yep. Looks like both the junglers here just going back to farming their camps. not trying for any more ganks or anything. All the lanes are relatively even still. Looks like big engage
Ooh.
coming from Silas here. Ziggs is very low.
But still doesn't blow any summoners. Is going to keep themselves alive.
Big
Alistar with
Ale-
a big engage here. The cow is going to be going in, but the Kha'Zix is going to be coming up from that from that river. That's going to be a very
They're gonna look
dangerous
at Kha'Zix
situation. But
here,
Samira
but
is
nope.
going to force the Kha'Zix out. That's going to be a flash being blown on the Akron side red, and that will be the Rel not
W
quite doing
canceled.
anything.
They're all really low here.
This is a scary situation, but
Okay.
Samira goes in and gets the first blood, and the Kha'Zix will be trading that one away. Kha'Zix will trade that one away, and then the Alistar goes down. That's 2 kills for the side of Akron, but first blood goes over to Maverick Esports.
It's like we might be having an engage here from J4 and the Silas.
Ooh,
Burns
and
his
the
flash, but he
flag
hits
is
the
gonna
E
be going
flash,
in.
and there down goes Silas, making it 2 for 2 here.
A beautiful trade kill there as the J4 comes in, getting a lot of damage, and it looks like the Cassante is going to be looking at getting a little bullying done on this Urgot as he's very low on health and mana. And actually, the Cassante does manage to get an EXP bonus, but is going to be using this opportunity to go forward, get some deep wards, exactly what you want to see, especially since we know that the Kha'Zix is going and is out on the hunt, looking for those early gank opportunities and trying to find something. Only about a 300 gold lead here for Maverick Esports. And so I'm curious to see, like, as these lane progresses, do you think we'll see a lot more ganks coming in from both sides, or do you think it will kind of start to slow down as things progress?
I think we'll see probably a fair amount of ganks, but I think more so we're just going to see a lot of action in lanes. I mean, as we've already seen, people are just taking trades at each other left and right, and I don't think that that's going to stop at any point in this game.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be a pretty likely scenario here, as just both teams are very, very strong. And we do have actually that Jarvan is down trying to get that early dragon. And there's still action happening all over the board, but it does look like that dragon will be pretty handily going over to the side of Maverick Esports, which is a good start, getting that dragon control and trying to get those early game buffs. And Cassante is going to be trying to get some damage off onto that Urgot, but it might not be ending well for them. But at the same time, we've got a fight going on in that mid lane side as well. And it does look like Skylops is going to be winning that one out. J4 secures the dragon. And currently right now, more damage coming out on that top side. Doesn't quite find anything, though. But that Urgot does not have any summoner spells available. So if necessary, this could be a ganking opportunity for Maverick Esports to utilize the flash that's down. So let's see if that's something that Ollie is going to be opting for here, and if the rest of the team will see that coming. But we do have the Kha'Zix showing up again on that bottom side.
Neither side top here has their ultimate ability, but Cassante is low on mana. He's going to be forced to recall here and probably TP back to lane.
Ooh, Skylops here getting very low. Silas stealing that Ziggs ultimate, but does not find anything. But the Kha'Zix does engage, and a beautiful flash, but unfortunately it's not enough. Where meanwhile, on the bottom side, the Alistar once again jumping in, doesn't find anything, is going to be forced to retreat out. And currently right now, Akron are going to be coming forward with that kill onto the mid lane from Llama Demon, and that will be Akron getting themselves a gold lead here against Maverick Esports.
Looks like bot lane's pushing out, so even though we do have J4 on bot side, we might not be able to get a big gank here and try and win something. It looks like they're just probably going to push out the lane, maybe reset. They're probably sitting on some money here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, otherwise these lanes are still looking pretty even. It's anyone's game still.
Definitely. That kill onto that jungler side is going to be really helpful, but at the same time, like we were talking about, there's a lot of opportunities for this Kha'Zix to fall off, but the Silas is going to be looking to engage, get a lot of damage out, but it is going to be that Ziggs winning out in that trade, forcing Silas away, and even still, they're both down on summoners, so it makes it a little bit scarier for the for both sides, honestly, because they don't really have any.
J4 with lane gank going in here with bot lane. Ult's on the Zeri. She's trapped. They're going to go on Realm now. Double kill on Samira.
And that is a absolutely massive play. The double kill coming out onto the Samira, getting more and more gold into that ADC pocket. And now the ability to, for that bot side to be able to get some damage off. But the ultimate is going to be used by the Cassante. Is going to be forcing the Urgot back. And a solo kill for Pursuit. A great turnaround here from Maverick Esports as they now take a 1,500 gold lead. A beautiful turnaround. And it honestly plays on both sides of the map exactly what you want to see here. But there is a Kha'Zix lurking around that mid lane side.
Extremely well played from both the J4 with the excellent engage in the lane gank and the Cassante top lane, canceling the Urgot E with his Q, and then ulting him through the wall to just go all out and just kill him instantly.
Very well done here, and some turret plates are going to be going down as well for that red side, feeding more money into the pockets of Maverick Esports. Now, let's see what the Ziggs is going to be pulling out here. Getting a lot of poke damage here, but the Kha'Zix is going to be nearby. Ziggs having that W available, and the J4 is around, plus the Alistar, so this could actually spell for a very scary moment for Akron, as I don't think they're aware of the Alistar being down there.
I think they're just going to look for Rift Herald here since Kha'Zix is going bot. They've got J4 and Alistar walking up river. I think that's a free take for them there. They might look top lane as well.
That would be a very strong play for them. The Kha'Zix is going to be picking up that blue buff, but that Rifty will be looking like it is definitely going to be going over to Maverick Esports uncontested, but the Samira is left alone. So some turret plate gold will be going down to that bot lane for Clippers and Moo Juice. And but that Rift Herald is picked up by Maverick Esports, and they're looking like they're going to be dropping that down in the bot lane here as the Alistar is rotated down. This is going to be a big push here, and a teleport is going to be used here by the Silas, but immediately going to have to back out here because this is a very scary situation as a dive might come in. A lot of tanking happening on the Alistar as the Kha'Zix come in to support, but a lot of turret plate gold going over to Maverick Esports as they extend this gold lead slightly, and this Kha'Zix has jumped a little bit too far and will get knocked back and will get destroyed by Maverick Esports, but they are not done. Alistar continuing to hang around there, and Ziggs poking it where they can. Maverick Esports still has some pretty healthy health bars here. Alistar might have gone a little bit too far, but a beautiful engage there. Rel is going to be taken very, very low. Alistar forced to retreat here. Silas still getting a lot of damage. Nice W comes in from Ziggs, but all members of Akron do escape with their lives, and that will be only one kill going in that fight over to Maverick Esports.
Yeah, that Silas was very close to death there, but, thankfully he had Alistar ult, so he just took 55% reduced damage?
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing you can do against that.
Oh, no, and the Samira does get shut down, and this is spelling like Alistar might be going down as well, but J4 is going to be rotating over, trading a lot of damage onto that Zeri, but Ali is going to be taken very low, and this will be looking like Cuddly Dragon can't find the way out as Clippers gets a kill for themselves, and that will be the Cloud Drake going over to Akron.
Yeah, there was definitely some bold decision making there from Maverick Esports, going in for a fight and getting caught out after they had just won a fight, so they did not have all their resources up.
Mm-hmm.
And so Akron just took advantage of that.
Got a nice free fight and free dragon available for themselves, as well as, oh my goodness, that's the Samira rotating in right away, getting the Zeri while she is still pretty low, and a solo kill for Overshocks there. Beautiful flash engage there from the Samira. I think that was a very smart move there from Maverick Esports, seeing that opportunity that was given as the Samira has so many more kills, which means higher item, higher damage output, and it just really allowed for a pretty easy solo kill secure when you don't have a support down there. But, oh no, as Llama Demon jumps in and takes out the Ziggs.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a rough game for the Ziggs here until he can get out of lane, because the Kha'Zix is just going to keep on coming.
And this is a lot of damage coming out here. The Samira is looking very dangerously low. Mojuice will be getting the kill onto Overshocks, and Cuddly Dragon is not in a position that they want to be in. They're getting brought dangerously low. J4 trying to come in, but just doesn't have the opportunity as Clippers gets a kill onto the Alistar and helps to bring some gold back into the pocket of Akron as they even up this gold lead and are actually looking to extend it with some turret plates.
Yeah, so far it's looking like a lot of fights are going down, but then at the same time, a lot of people are just getting picked off. Fights are going on for too long, or people are just pushed up too far and out of position.
Yeah, I definitely been noticing that on both teams, honestly, they're trying to snowball their victories, but are just spending way too long trying to snowball them. As now the 1v1 is going to be happening here between Ollie, but Ollie's going to be forced to flash out. But now there's a fight happening up top as the Cassante seems to be doing a lot of damage here. The Urgot just cannot escape, and Pursuit picks up another solo kill as the turret plates go down, and there will be nothing to come from the fight happening down on that bot side river as all members get away, and this is going to be continuing to be some even gold here, but Maverick Esports are going to be looking to get that first turret. Beautiful escape there from the Ziggs with the W and the flash to keep themselves alive. And J4, Ollie, is going to be looking to rotate down onto this bottom side, trying to find something. Hiding in that bottom bush doesn't appear to be spotted out here. But they do see the Alistar is going to be getting some pokes here. Silas is going to be jumping in, and that will be Skyfall's getting taken out. But that will be the J4 ultimate coming through. Ollie is on a killing spree, and the Overshocks will be taking down Mojuice, and the fight is one down bot, which will secure that first turret over to Maverick Esports. Ooh, and Kha'Zix is spotted out here. This is not a situation you want to be in. If your Kha'Zix is at J4, can lock you down, but that's a lot of damage over, and Ollie is actually going to be the one to retreat out, but the Alistar will come through, getting the stun, and a lot of damage happening there as Kha'Zix will be forced to retreat out, but the turret does fall, and Maverick Esports bring themselves back into the gold lead. And now that red side bot lane is coming in to join the party, so Maverick Esports will be choosing to recall out with some trading happening up top.
Something I will say about this top lane is that Pursuit is a very he's the kind of person in lane where he will either be 5-0 or 0-5 by 15 minutes. And so far this game, thankfully, it looks like he's definitely more in the 5-0 position here, as he's gotten, I think, 3 solo kills on this Urgot.
And he might be looking for a fourth here, as he's already looking pretty tanky for themselves as we approach the 16-minute mark. But we've got a group up happening here down in that middle lane. And we've got the Silas is just getting stunned all over the place, and Benson will be getting taken down. Overshocks with a beautiful finish there. And you're going to spend too much time a little bit too far forward, and you will get collapsed on. Maverick Esports having a little bit less than a 2K gold lead, so this is still a pretty even game, and it might be looking like Ollie is going to be going for that second Rift Herald here. Let's see if Akron will be able to contest this one. They're going to be kind of sticking around a little bit, but it doesn't look like they're going to be going for the full contest as Maverick Esports secure the second Rift Herald. Let's see where they place this one. Oh no, Skyloft, you're getting dangerously attacked by this Kha'Zix, and you don't have a flash. That might be it, but the ghost is popped. They're managing to stay just barely alive, but Benson comes in from the river, but it doesn't matter because
Cassante, he gets at least one here. Maybe not.
Oh, no. Cassante not quite able to finish that one off. Is going to be forced to flash out as the Alistar comes in. Cuddly Dragon looking for the opportunity to help. Ollie is sitting up there in the river. Is not at a spot where they can really engage, though. Is going to be forced to retreat out. And this does look like this will be Maverick Esports kind of hovering around, wanting to maybe fight for this Ocean Drake here. But it doesn't look like a fight's going to be happening, even though they do have the team here ready to engage on this one. But nothing to be seen quite yet. Overshocks getting some poking here. Going to be pushed a little bit too far out, but Ollie will be summoning that Rift Herald down, and that bottom side lane is going to be forcing something to happen as Maverick Esports continuing to circle around this dragon. This is a scary situation. You can feel the tension in the air as it just takes one person going just a little bit too far before our whole team collapses, and that will be Ollie jumping in on the rail, but the rest of the team is not there. Ollie getting flipped over by the Urgot. The Ziggs ultimate comes in, and that will be Urgot getting taken down over Shocked with a double kill, and Silas is going to be losing a lot of health. A triple,
kill.
and that will be a quadra, and that
and the
will
penta gets
be
stolen.
the stolen penta, as Ollie does not want their teammate to get the penta, but the ace comes through for Maverick Esports. That's going to be the dragon and another turret. Maverick Esports have found what they need, and they are snowballing this victory that they are seeing here today.
All I'm saying is that kill could have very easily gone to the Samira there. I think he took that kill because we have a thing here at Maverick Esports. If you get a pentakill in a game, then Mr. Coach Ali owes you a skin. And it sounds to me like he just did not want to pay out of pocket for that pentakill.
You know, knowing Ali, that does not surprise me at all that they would not want to be giving their players a skin, and instead is going to steal the penta, even though Samir Overshocks very much did earn that with a beautiful quadra kill. Very well done. And Maverick Esports are sitting at a nice, little bit less than 6K gold lead. This is a great spot for them to be in. Currently, right now, Akron doesn't have any towers, and Maverick Esports have 4, so they're sitting at a really good spot to be in right now, as they actually are pushed all the way up to that inhibitor on that bottom side.
Yeah, this is not exactly a great spot for Akron here. Maverick Esports has a very large lead, both in gold and pressure on the map. This is definitely a tough spot to be in if you want to try doing any the thing right now. Only thing you can really rely on is just luckily winning a team fight or getting a few picks to try and get back in the game, but right now they are not in it.
This is definitely Maverick Esports' game to either win or lose. They just got to keep doing what they're doing, finding those engaged opportunities, and continuing to capitalize on the mistakes from Akron. You can see even there, Pursuit had an opportunity, but notice that they didn't have a lot of vision or saw the rel coming in from that jungle and opted to back out. But now, Cassante is going to be looking for something. This is going to be a fight that I don't think Pursuit wants to take, because there is a rel, and that's going to be a lot of damage, though. But thankfully, Cassante is just so unkillable. Pursuit's trying to run away, and that's going to be a lot of damage. I don't think you're getting away with this one, but on the top side, Overshocks is going to find themselves being godlike as Pursuit gets shut down. But even still, I think that worked out better for Maverick Esports, because they are now up on that top side, are able to keep pushing. But at the same time, Akron are going to be pushing on that mid side. They get one turret, and this Zeri is putting out a lot of damage without any response from Maverick Esports here. Akron have found the way to keep doing something.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that that's an extremely good trade here from Maverick Esports, as the kills are 1-1. But Akron here gets 2 turrets. Maverick Esports here is probably getting to get 2 turrets as well. However, Akron has objective bounties up, so they're going to get some extra money for those turrets that they get.
And that's a Kha'Zix coming in, and that Ziggs, but a beautiful W to be placed. The TP will be coming out as a Kha'Zix is going to be forced to get out. Beautiful ultimate from the J4 is going to be pushing, is going to be getting that kill onto Benson, but Skylops is going to be caught on the outside by the Zeri, and Maverick Esports are going to be forced to retreat here as they don't have the damage output here, but Cassante does find a beautiful pull, is going to be trying to get the Kha'Zix put out, but not able to capitalize on that kill. Pursuit is forced to back out, but the Urgot ultimate does take out Pursuit, and Cuddly Dragon will be taken out as well, and a beautiful team fight victory for Akron keeps them alive, and they're looking to get that Baron, because right now Maverick Esports don't have a jungler nearby.
Yeah, it was definitely some questionable playing there from Maverick Esports. It's a really good trade here for Akron, and they're looking a lot better than they were just a few minutes ago after they secure this Baron.
And a Baron play is exactly what you need to stay in this game. If you are Akron, they have the time now to utilize this Baron buff, get those super-powered minions, try and get some of those objectives back, get some of that gold in their pockets, and continue to snowball, and hopefully use this opportunity for themselves to win here. I don't think they'll be winning off of this Baron play, but they definitely have an opportunity to get a lot of gold here. Now let's see what they're going to be doing with it here and seeing how Maverick Esports will be responding in this situation.
Yeah, it is unfortunate as we can't see the scoreboards here. We can't see the KDA and items of each player, but we can assume based off of what we've been seeing here, it looks like.
Oh, that blast route is going to be used, and that is a rel all by their lonesome, trying to get the escape, but Maverick Esports is there to collapse, and that will be Overshock's taking out Moo Juice,
Ziggs,
but
though.
that's a Ziggs getting caught dangerously
Oh,
low,
he
but
turns
Skylofts turns it around and destroys him, and it is now an Urgot caught sleeping in the river, and he tries to flash out, and he does try to take out the Ziggs, but Ollie is unstoppable and takes out the Urgot, and that will also be a dragon that Maverick Esports will be able to turn around on this one.
These fights are just going back and forth between teams here. You know, you got Maverick Esports winning a fight and then Akron winning the next, but then Maverick Esports coming back, winning the next fight after that, because it seems just like both teams here, their positioning isn't quite exactly what they want to be looking for, so people are getting caught out and bad trades are being taken. J4 is going to look on Zeri here, but she's going to get out because, you know, she can just jump over walls. So why not?
Interesting choice for Ollie to go for the ultimate there on that Zeri, but especially since they didn't have any teammates there to help assist with that one. But at the same time, I'm not Ollie, so I can't say for sure. But also, it's Ollie. So, like, I feel like if anybody were allowed to kind of poke a little bit at the decisions they make, it would be him.
Most definitely.
Clippers here still holding on to that Baron, which does, at the same time, as nice as the Baron was able to have, they weren't able to make too much use of it in this game. Now, we have, I think it's Eastak is how that's pronounced, or whatever. Urgot, we'll just call it Urgot.
Yep.
That's much easier to figure out there. Urgot is looking to possibly find something up on that top lane, but Maverick Esports are still
Ziggs is
hovering
not
around
looking
that
in a
mid
good
lane.
spot here with Kazakhs behind him. He might be able to get out here, but there's
the W doesn't
good.
find it, and there's no
The
summoner spell.
Seraph Shield, though, he's still.
Oh my gosh.
He trades.
He
trades
does
it.
get the trade. Wow. A 1-for-1 trade between Skylofts and Llama Demon. And that is respawn timer. Actually, no, respawn timers are going to be even for both teams right now. And it does look like Maverick Esports are going to be collapsing onto that Urgot up on that top side. But that does leave the bottom side open. As you can see, Akron looking for the rotation. Cuddly Dragon is going to be zoning out that Urgot, making him run away. And we're going to be seeing a stalemate here as nothing quite happens after this trade. Now, from your experience, what is more valuable? Is the mid laner kill for Akron more valuable, or the jungler kill on that side of Akron for Maverick Esports more valuable?
Here, I definitely think gold on the Ziggs is going to be a lot more useful than gold on the Kazakhs, because as the game starts to turn into just more team fights, your scaling mage Ziggs is going to do a lot more damage than the Kazakhs, who can't really pick people because you're all clumped as a team.
That definitely makes a lot of sense. Good. Something that, you know, I don't even think about really too much anymore, but Ollie is going to be looking for something. Goes in, gets a little bit of poke, but doesn't finish out on that collapse. And the Kazakhs is going to be caught sleeping out there, reaching a little bit too far, and Llama Demon is taken down by Overshocks. And now this is going to force Akron to back off, and this is a scary situation for them because you can see there's a lot of damage output on that side of Maverick Esports, and any good engage here could turn into a possible dive situation. The only downside, though, is Pursuit is not there.
As much as Maverick Esports here has definitely a lot more of a team fight-oriented comp, the J4 Alistar combo is picking off people way better than the Kazakhs is able to, because it's just so much CC that there's nothing they can do about it.
Absolutely, and this might be the opportunity that Maverick Esports are looking for. That red turret is going to be taken down, and they will be collapsing on this one as Overshocks will be shutting down the Zeri, going to be getting more kills. Pursuit will be taking down the Urgot, and that will be the inhibitor on that middle side getting taken down, and then they're going to be looking for that top side inhibitor as Ali and as there's 3 men up there up top with nothing to be able to turn around, but they collapse in, and that's going to be Overshox being unstoppable. And this may be it, as Maverick Esports are going to be looking for the win. The bottom side inhibitor does go down, the top side inhibitor following, and it is just the Nexus turrets here as Maverick Esports are shredding through the Nexus turrets. There are no members of Akron there aside from the Silas, and it will not matter. Maverick Esports are tearing apart that Nexus. Silas will not be going down, and Maverick Esports will be taking game number 1.
Yeah, amazingly well played there at the end from Maverick Esports. You know, when you're that ahead on gold, it's much easier to just run down as a team and finish out the game versus, you know, trying to focus on, you know, getting Dragons or Baron to eventually end the game. It's much easier to just run down mid and take those towers because you're up that much money. There's nothing they can do to stop you.
Absolutely. And, you know, we give Ollie a lot of crap throughout his games, but he did finish at a 5-0. Beautiful game from him there today. And honestly, all of Maverick Esports did a really good job, but I got to shout out Overshox on that Samara. Just an absolute menace in that bottom lane, not allowing anything through, getting so many kills, just doing an incredible amount of damage there.
Yeah, both in lane and in team fights, he was just doing an unstoppable amount of damage because, you know, in a fight, there's so much CC between J4 and Alistar that they can't even hit him. Whole time, Overshox can just wail away at their health bar, and then all of a sudden, their whole team has none of it left.
Absolutely. And so a great game here for Maverick Esports as they take game number 1. And with that, we're going to go to a quick break here, guys. But don't go anywhere because we'll be right back here very quickly with game number 2 as Maverick Esports are up 1-0 in their series against the University of Akron. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
Sports without the physical activity. That's kind of how I explain it.
It's just like regular sports, but behind a computer.
I love the idea of esports. I think this has potential to grow and to engage a lot of students.
Gaming with my parents, it did not go over well in the beginning. They saw it more as a distraction from school or from actual sports. It wasn't really until this Mankato Esports program came up that they were like, oh wow, this is an actual official thing that schools do. They kind of decided like, okay, let's take this seriously, let's support them.
We would hope every student find something that they are passionate about, that will engage them, put them in community with other students, and let them do things that help them create what it is they want to have for their education.
And welcome back, everybody. Teams up. They're going to not let Maverick Esports get the Samira, which makes a lot of sense because that was an absolute menace in game number 1.
Yeah, but their other bands, Ezreal and Caitlyn, are definitely very interesting as they leave the other picks open. Like J4 was very dominant last game, but not too sure what they're thinking with that. Akron here on blue side will first pick the Maokai, likely going jungle, and Maverick Esports will take Udyr. That will also probably be jungle. I know Ali plays a bit of Udyr. So not wanting to follow up again with the J4, even though it works every time they pick it.
Yeah, that surprises me that they're not going to be going that side again. I was expecting definitely to see the J4 again, especially since Ollie went completely deathless, going 5-0, having an absolutely dominating performance on that J4. So to not see it again is surprising, but we do see the Xayah getting picked up on the side of Maverick Esports. I love Xayah. She's probably one of my top favorite champions. She's so crazy, and I absolutely love her.
And she's in a really good spot right now, but I know that Leo is not a very big fan of her, so I'm curious to see how the rest of this draft goes, because this doesn't seem like the typical Maverick Esports draft. But we've got Akron here on their still their first-round picks. They've got Kaisa ADC locked in, which is also a pretty common pick. She's been solid for a while, and they're going to pick up the Rakan support to go alongside it.
I wonder, is it just like a pretty standard thing for, like, if one team picks Xayah for another team to pick Rakan, just to, like, split those two up? Or is that, like, just, is that not nearly as standard as I wish it would be, just given their lore?
I also wish that it was common, but you don't really see it a whole ton because Xayah and Rakan together aren't often an insanely powerful duo, as crazy as it is. I was really hoping to see Maverick Esports here was hovering Jhin. I was going to hope they were going to run the jingle, but looks like we've got Leona support locked in at the end of round 1 for Maverick Esports. Maverick Esports is going to start off the second round of bans with a Syndra ban.
Interesting, because there's a lot of picks that we are seeing, at least for Maverick. I mean, they're looking like we're seeing entirely completely different comps from what we were seeing in game number 1. Akron choosing once again to ban out that Ziggs, not allowing the Ziggs to be the damage threat that they were in game number 1. And then Maverick Esports banning out the Syndra and the Zoe. I'm a little surprised to see these two picks. Now, granted, I think they had their mid lane picked in round 1 in game number 1. I'm trying to remember. It's hard to remember because so many things happen in a game of League of Legends. It's hard to really keep everything straight here. But then we will have the Annie getting banned out again to round out a lot of mid lane targeted bans here on this second round. Not too surprising, as the mid lane can be very, very powerful and can shift a lot of things here. And so we'll see kind of what the solo lanes are going to be looking like for these two teams here.
Yeah, we've got Maverick Esports up to pick here. They'll likely pick mid to give top lane the counter pick. Looks like they're going to be picking Vex, which is something I also don't see super often from Sky, so we'll see how that goes as well.
This is very interesting draft from Maverick Esports.
It definitely seems a bit more experimental. I feel like they might just be very confident in their ability to win this game, so they're going to go a bit more, loose with the draft.
Mm-hmm. And they have the opportunity to do it. I mean, with a game 1 victory, you can drop one game if you want. Obviously, you don't want to, but if you want to try something new, obviously you can do that when you're up on a game. Jace getting picked. I'm very excited to see Jace. Jace is one of my favorite champions. I don't know why. I think he's got such a unique kit, and he's so fun to play in the top lane. So I am a big proponent for a Jace pick whenever I can see him show up here. And now we'll see the mid lane pick coming out from Akron, going up against a Vex. Wait, is that Jace going up in the?
That's a Jace mid. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And the Nasus pick going up top, seeing Susan showing up. Let's see what they're going to be doing with that Nasus. Nasus is one of those champs where they can either be really, really good, but if they can't get going, they're not the most influential on the board.
Right, and especially up against chase here, pursuit. He will take the lane into his own hands, and he will fight nonstop. So, assuming as long as he doesn't just start off the game on a bad foot, this Nasus should not be able to do a whole ton this game, especially with the CC from Udyr and Leona. I feel like he's just going to get walked out the whole time.
Absolutely, and especially with the range from the Gnar, it's going to allow him to do a lot of poke, not allowing that Nasus to go in there and farm that Q. And as we take a look at this draft here, a very entirely different team comps from both teams. Akron knowing that, hey, what they did in game number 1 doesn't work. They got to switch it up. Maverick Esports saying, like, hey, we're going to keep them on their toes. As much as it would be easy to run it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of comp, you have an opportunity to try something new. So we'll see what they're going to be able to do with that. So we'll turn it over to a quick break here so we get kind of set up, get that spectator delay going. So don't go anywhere, guys, because we're going to be diving into the Rift here for game number 2. Let's see if Maverick Esports can win this out with a clean sweep, or if the University of Akron can bring this one back and take us into a game number 3. We'll be right back, everybody.
We're students at Minnesota State Mankato, and we had a big idea. Turn our love of gaming into a varsity esports team. In our first year, we earned a national championship and created a fun and friendly community. Be a Maverick. Learn more at mnsu.edu.
Stay in the loop with Mavericks Esports. Sign up for our newsletter, scan this code, or visit esports.mnsu.edu, and follow us on social media at esportsmnsu.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Maverick Esports versus Akron League of Legends game here. We're about to go into game number 2 here as we get loaded up onto the Rift. I'm really excited here. Maverick Esports are up 1 game right now. Akron League of Legends have to complete a reverse sweep. Let's see if they are going to be doing it. If you are Akron here, what is your mindset going into game number 2 when you lost game number 1 pretty heavily?
I think their goal here should likely be to focus both on their macro and their positioning. There was a lot of times where either they were too far pushed up, or after a fight they would stay for too long. I think you just kind of gotta play it a bit slower in those situations and not get super greedy with everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we can actually see the item builds now, so that'll be good to know.
Oh yeah.
So let's see kind of what the teams are going to be looking out here as we get ready onto this level 1. Nothing too crazy always happening right away. Maokai is going to be spotted up on that red side, and then or a blue side for them, the blue buff side, and then you have the Udyr starting over on that blue buff side to start here. Now, one of the things I'm really excited to see kind of how, just because of me being an ADC player myself, my eyes are always on the bot lane to kind of see like how the players are going to be synergizing. And I honestly think this Kai'Sa and Rakan combo is going to be having to be a little nervous going up against this combo of the Xayah and Leona, because there is just so much CC potential.
There's a lot of it. Yeah.
It's going to be really dangerous for that bot lane on the side of Akron.
Yeah, it's also going to be an interesting start here for the Nasus, as he does get a ward down in their red side, but he does sacrifice some health for it, which is not exactly what you want to be doing when you're level 1 in top lane.
I'm surprised to see the E start as well, just because that is some Q stacks that they're going to be foregoing here. Is that kind of becoming a little bit more standard for an E start for an Nasus?
I think the E start here is probably more likely because he's up against a Gnar who's just going to be poking him out. So his goal is just going to be to CS with E, because if he walks up to Q him, it's going to be a lot of his health bar gone.
That makes sense. And with the Jace going to be getting a lot of damage out for this Vex, it's going to be, I think, pretty easy for them to bully out the Vex. But at the same time, this trade does go in favor of Skylofts there. And then we have Xayah and bot side pushing in right away, not letting the enemy team do anything here. And the first Mega Gnar will be showing up here in just a little bit. And on that mid side, though, Jace is getting bullied pretty hard.
Yeah, he is.
Which is going to be pretty dangerous for him. But either way, Maverick Esports are off to a pretty solid start, as the Gnar is going to be going in, getting a lot of damage. That's a stun going on in Nasus, but no summoners are going to get used here, and it will actually be Pursuit being forced to back out here.
Yeah, he's definitely looking low here. He keeps getting hit with those Nasus E's, and they're taking chunks out of him little bits at a time.
It's certainly, the Nasus E seems to be what is going to be that key factor for that Nasus to keep Gnar off and making sure that he can still farm the way that he needs to. Because you can see right now, that Gnar just can't quite get out of the range of that E, and it's just very dangerous. But the Jace is very low, so going to be forced to recall here. And this will be a good opportunity for Vex, because they can force Jace out, force that CS to go away, and start getting a lot more progress, as well as continuing to get that lead going with the EXP loss. And the flash, the double flash committed for both sides, but doesn't find anything. Had that gone through in Leona, that would have been very dangerous, but because Ollie was right there. But beautiful flash from Llama Demon to keep themselves alive there and preventing that first blood from happening.
Yeah, overall, I mean, the start of this game is definitely more tame than the other one. There's not 4 kills already on the board, as it felt like there was last game.
That's true. I think we have first blood like 2 minutes in, and
Yeah.
now we like don't even have one yet. But the Rakan will be going in. That's going to be Akron looking for the early engage, but it doesn't find anything though. As a Leona does manage to root out the Kaisa, but Zaya is also quite low. Ignite's being burned, and the flash will be popped by Moo Juice, and it will find nothing as. We've got double sums on the side of Akron, but on the side of Akron, they're going to be responding with a gank on that mid lane. Vex is going to be forced to flash away. The Jace does get a lot of damage, but the Vex does stay alive, and that does look like an overcommit on the side of Maverick Esports as first blood will go over to Akron.
Yeah, Overshocks here is definitely the kind of player to where he will stay and greet if he sees a kill opportunity, but here he just didn't respect the recon. And that'll happen.
And Llama Demon might be spending a little bit too much time in that enemy jungle as Maverick Esports will be collapsing down, and Maverick Esports will be answering back with a kill onto Llama Demon, and Pursuit finds the gold for that one. That gold onto that Gnar is going to be, I think, just a really good thing is going to be happening for them because it's going to give them a little bit more of that, a little bit more power, and the gold that they can use to get some more early items is just going to help make that Gnar so much more of just a bully force against that Nasus, especially since the Gnar has picked up that Cull, so the CSing is going to be significantly more important. So having that power buff is going to be huge. Very good thing to see, but again, Ollie, you don't want to spend too much time in the enemy jungle as the Jace is going to be looking for the Pursuit. Ollie is going to be forced to back away. He's going to be brought very low, but does manage to escape with his life, if only just barely.
Yeah, invades are always really risky if you don't have perfect vision of what's going on, and here just happened to be a time where they knew where he was, so he's very lucky he made it out there with his 100 HP max, probably.
Yeah,
He was
definitely.
low.
It was definitely very close here. And we've got Renson getting kind of cheeky, trying to get some of that CS, get some damage out. But it does look like Vex is going to be able to get the trade and win that one out. A lot of minions getting pushed out on that top side. As it's going to be a pretty even CS game actually up on that top side. The biggest CS gap that we are seeing is that gap between Vex and Jace, which is a really great start for that mid lane, especially when they don't have any kills on the board yet, trying to keep all of that power going towards those damage dealers. But the kill onto Gnar does help a lot with some of that missing gold that would maybe be coming from the lack of CS that might have happened just from getting pushed in a little bit.
For sure, yeah, and the CS with the Vex was also really nice when they picked the Maokai, because the Vex was also very low during that time, and her being able to push out the wave one last time before recalling.
Oh, and she
on
jumps
top of
in
an extra
and,
kill.
Oh my gosh, Skylops comes in with a lot of damage, but that will be a answer on the bottom side as well by Maverick Esports as Overshocks takes down Clippers, and Maverick Esports are getting kills across the rift, and they are looking to snowball this one just like game one.
That was a beautiful engage from Cuds there with Leo able to just completely dodge Recon W with his ult and put all that damage into Kaisa. She didn't stand much of a chance there.
And the Mega Gnar comes out for Pursuit, and the ultimate's going to shove that Nasus back into the wall, but he will be forced to back away. Pursuit might have to blow a flash for it, but actually, Nasus is getting a lot of damage, but that ultimate's going to come through. He's going to be forced to flash out, but Ollie is going to be there for the save. Is going to get a lot of damage, and that will be Ollie picking up a kill for themselves onto that Nasus. While down on the bottom side, we have Overshocks and Cuds going to be forced to back away. A lot of damage coming out possibly, but the Rakan snare does not find anything as Cuddly Dragon is just going to flash an emote, and they're going to have a little bit of fun before heading back out and going home.
Looks like we've got Udi here trying to take this Rift Herald. He is alone here now that Gnar is gone, but Vex is pushed out in mid lane and Jace is low. He won't be able to take the Rift Herald. He's just going to reset here instead, but might look for a counter gank here. I think Vex is fine. Yeah, she just walks it out. Vex currently up 20 CS on this Jace. 20 CS and a kill is a lot of money. She's looking in a lot better spot than he is at the moment, that's for sure.
Absolutely. And on that bottom side, we do have some turret plates going over to this side of Akron, which is going to be really nice for that Kaisa to help, especially since there's a lot of pressure coming in on the on the side lane, on the middle and the top lane. So getting some of that extra turret plate gold, helping to find just a few instances to help keep them alive, keep them going. But the Leona ult comes in. Beautiful ult to find Clippers, and that will be Leona going in, trying to find something, but the Rakan dashes back with the shield, and they manage to get out with their lives. The only summoner spell is the Ignite, but Jace is going to be down there as the Maokai ult comes in. Cuddly Dragon is not in a good spot, but Ollie is going to be there on the reception, trying to assist, and the Xayah ult comes out, and Overshox finds 2.
Double kill.
And the double kill comes out for Maverick Esports, and overall, trading a support and a mid laner for just a support, Maverick Esports comes out on top in that fight.
That was a beautiful turnaround there. I saw Xayah holding on to her ult. I knew that there was going to be something big coming out of it, and something big there was with 2 kills right off the bat there. That was an excellent trade there from Maverick Esports.
A very good trade indeed, and it does look like Pursuit's going to be getting a lot of damage off. Might be looking for a cheeky little solo kill here.
Oh, he definitely is.
So close.
He wants it so badly. I know he does.
He very much wants that kill. I think he's going to be waiting just a little bit. But Maverick Esports do secure the first dragon. And Gnar is still going to be kind of hanging out. Nasus actually doesn't complete the back. So we will see as, that's going to be a lot of damage going on to that Vex. The Maokai is nearby. Vex goes in, but is forced to back out. They might have bit off a little bit more than they can chew, but Pursuit certainly hasn't, as they get a solo kill onto Nasus, and Skyloft gets away with their life as well. That Gnar is looking terrifying.
Oh, yeah. That is... He was waiting for that kill for a very long time. He just had to wait to transform so he could finally pick it up. Gnar now being up 20 CS and 2 kills is looking very good for him and not looking very good for this Nasus.
Absolutely. Maverick Esports are already at a solid start here, getting close to that 5K gold lead as they continue to push the minions in, doing a lot of damage, and Mood Juice might have sent out a little bit too far, but thankfully that Leona is not quite going to be ready to jump in on that Rakan there, but that is something that could bode very scary for Rakan if they aren't paying attention. But it does look like reinforcements are going to be coming along that bot side as Kaisa is coming up, but that turret could be going down very quickly. But right now, it's looking like Maverick Esports' focus play is going to be on that Rift Herald. While this fight's going to be going down, the ultimates are going to be coming through. Leona is going to be looking very low here, but a beautiful Leona ult will at least allow Overshox to trade 1-for-1 and continues to look for more. Maybe we'll be able to get the support, but doesn't find it, as the Maokai will be shutting down Overshox.
That was very close there with the Xayah ult, but not enough feathers hit to do enough damage there. Still a very close trade, just not quite working out in his favor there.
But still, though, able to at least delay some major things happening, though. But Skyloft, this is a scary position for you as the Maokai blows the ultimate in, but Jace will come through and get 1 kill. But Maverick Esports will be summoning that Rift Herald up top and getting a lot of plate gold for Pursuit there. That's definitely a good choice for that Rift Herald, but now Ollie might be caught out just a little bit, but manages to get away as the Rakan comes in to try and help support that turret. That bottom side turret, though, is looking very, very low as Clippers is going to lose the recall here, and Cuddly is going to be going in. That could be a support solo kill, as we do have Overshox is going to be coming in, is going to be right there to finish that one off. Never mind, Cuddly will be taking that one, but Maverick Esports get first turret gold, and they're looking very well set up here in game number 2.
Leona is always one of those supports you have to respect, because even though she is a tank support, she will always do a lot of damage.
Oh no, the hook gets put in, and that's going to be Overshox getting a kill for on the Maokai.
This is not looking very good for Akron here. And it looks like they might have another on the Rakan with the Vex Spear. It's just picks all across the board. The Nassus
Oh,
too, and the Gnar
no.
lives. It's just a slaughter all across the map.
The gold is pouring into the pockets of Maverick Esports, and Akron are just falling apart with this one. This draft has just been working out so well for Maverick Esports. They're able to utilize anything and everything, and Ali is going to be right there. Maokai is getting a little bit too far. You cannot go into Ali like that. He will take you down, and he will be getting a kill under the Maokai, but Clippers will be trying to respond here against Skylofts, and that's going to be the rest of Akron rotating in, while there's only one more member of Maverick Esports, and unfortunately, Maverick Esports are trying to get a little bit more than they bargained for. But at this time, Pursuit is going to be in for the support. Overshocks is going to be right there. That's going to be a lot of damage and a dead Rakan as Pursuit is on a rampage and Akron are forced to retreat.
Yeah, this is another example just like from game 1 where one team overextends, but then the other team also then proceeds to re-overextend. Maverick Esports here thinking that they were a bit further ahead with, not being sure where the enemy team was, so they just came in to pick up a kill after Maverick Esports got theirs. However, then Akron Esports then goes ahead to do the exact same thing of push up too far when Gnar was there to rotate. So
it's one of those things that you really have to be paying attention to. It's why League of Legends is such a hard game to get really, really good at, because there's so many things you have to pay attention to. And as you can see, this Pursuit's just continuing the rampage that they're on, getting so much damage, and they're unstoppable as Gnar gets another solo kill onto Nassus. That's 30 seconds that Nassus will not be around.
8K gold lead here for Maverick Esports. It is.
Oh, and another overextension, though, as Pursuit gets shut down, and the Vex gets taken down as well. A pick that Akron will need to keep themselves in this game, but there's still a juicy bot lane they're looking to take here, as that Xayah is very dangerous right now, sitting at 6-2. The Leona is a scary spot as well. Looks like the teleport will be coming in from Nassus, but the rest of Maverick Esports are not there, and they're just going to be choosing, I think, to give this dragon over to the side of Akron, as honestly at this point they can definitely afford to do so.
Yeah, for sure. And something that I think Maverick Esports here has to learn is that as much as they are up gold here, Kaisa is in a very strong spot right now, and they have to respect her. Walking into their jungle is just something you can't do when Kaisa could be anywhere nearby to ult in range. Like, you just have to respect that. She's 6-2 right now. She's got 2.5 items now. She's in a very scary spot.
Yes, absolutely. And that's definitely something that I'm sure Maverick Esports is going to be watching out for, because you can see right now that Kaisa's doing a lot, but the Leona ultimate is going to be coming through. Is this going to be another 2-for-2 situation? Overshocks is going to get a lot of damage out, taking out that Rakan, but at the same time, there's still a Kaisa that's going to be dealing a lot of damage. The Xayah ult comes out, and that's a double kill going on to Kaisa. And down on that bot side, we've got Vex is going to be looking to get some bullying done into that Nassus as well. Leona is going to take a lot of damage and will be retreating, as the rest of Akron League of Legends are there to protect, but at the same time, that topside turret's getting some love as well. And Maverick Esports are just all over this rift right now.
Yeah, see, this right here is exactly what good macro looks like. You send a few people mid, few people top, and one person bot. You can pressure out mid, even get a pick mid, all while you have two people wailing on that top turret, getting the top turret completely for free because they can't match both lanes.
Oh my, and the fight comes in. The Zonias does get popped on the side of Vex. That's going to be very dangerous, though, as Nassus finally gets a kill on the board. That solo kill is going to be huge for the Nassus, but at the same time, Maverick Esports, once again, they're all over the place. Ali is rotating up onto that Rift Herald, trying to get that second Rift Herald, and the rest of Akron are going to try and contest this one because they definitely know the damage that Maverick Esports can do, but the Rift Herald will go to that blue side as they steal it, and this fight is going all over the place for Akron, as that will be Overshock's getting killed, and Pursuit does find one as Leona has joined the fight, but there's still just too many members of Akron, as that will be a wipe, and there's 4 kills for 1 in favor of Akron, League of Legends, and a Rift Herald. Exactly what that team needed to get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, the Kaisa here is looking very, very strong here. That whole fight, they just couldn't get on top of her because she's so slippery. All the while just outputting massive amounts of damage to the whole team. That's just... You have to be able to get onto the Kaisa here, focus her, and then you can take care of the rest of the team. But it's hard when you've got Jace, Rakan, and Maokai who can all peel for the Kaisa, along with the Kaisa who can peel for herself. It's very difficult here.
And that, if there is going to be one big win condition for Akron, it will be that Kaisa and her continuing to stay unkillable at this point, outputting a lot of damage and just tearing through Maverick Esports. But we do see Leona might be biting off a little bit more than they can chew here, trying to maybe keep everybody a little bit spooked here, but Rakan is going to be spotting out that Leona, and Leona is going to be backing out as Skylofts is there. But at this point, it does look like Maverick Esports are looking to at least start maybe thinking about prepping for a Baron play here, which I feel like is a little bit early, but at the same time, they have the money, they have the vision right now. I just don't know if they feel comfortable without knowing exactly. Oh, never mind, they're maybe starting it? I don't know. They're teasing me here. Oh, the pincer is going to be coming in. This is a scary situation for Akron, but the teleport will be coming in from that Nasus, though, and that will be Skyloft getting a lot of damage here. The Maokai does manage to rotate out. Overshocks is going to be picking up one. That's going to be a lot of damage outputted, though. Maverick Esports are running away with this one, and that's going to be... Actually, never mind. That's a double kill on the side of Maverick Esports, but a double kill for Akron as well, and that Kaisa is still not dead, as Cuddly Dragon will be taking down the Maokai, and it looks like Maverick Esports will take this opportunity to rotate back, stop this Rift Herald, and maybe turn their attention over to Baron or continue to push down mid.
It's definitely a bit concerning here, how strong this Kaisa is. You see that she's got a very similar KDA to Xayah here. I'm not sure if Xayah is just sitting on a lot of money, but she's up a whole item on her, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on here, but until Xayah gets that third item.
And Ollie, you have got to be careful, because that's going to be a Jace going on a rampage. I don't know if this is a fight that you want to take, but they're going to be going for it. The exhaust is going to be popped, but that will be Overshot getting shut down, and more members of Maverick Esports are getting torn to shreds, but Pursuit is going to be there for a little bit of assistance, but once again, that Kaisa is just so strong, and Vex is going to be going in, doesn't find anything though, and in fact is going to be taken away. You cannot be taking so many fights, but Clippers finally get shut down, and Pursuit will be taking down one, and that's 4 kills for the side of Akron, with 2 kills going to Maverick Esports. Maverick Esports are getting holes poked in them all over the place.
They did finally shut down that Kaisa, but unfortunately, I don't think that it was still the best of trades there. Akron Esports is going to secure this dragon, and this Kaisa is still in a very strong spot. It looks like she's probably going to be building a hat next, which is interesting. She's definitely going for more of an AP Kaisa here in the later game to keep her distance from Maverick Esports.
Yeah, definitely seeing that little bit of AP that's going to be coming out from Clippers there, which will allow for them to help peel a lot more, especially that will make the threat that Maverick Esports has become a little bit less, and will only make the Kaisa more and more scary to deal with. So we'll see how these teams are going to be rotating this one out. Currently, right now, Maverick Esports has a lead with 4 turrets to Akron's 2, and they're sitting at a little bit less than a 4K gold lead, but this game has certainly shown that it is definitely not over, despite the steamroll that Maverick Esports were able to have early on. League of Legends, one of those games where you never know what's going to happen until that Nexus falls. And we're seeing a tension showing up here as Maverick Esports might be looking for a pick opportunity. Rakan going to be backing away, and Maverick Esports making, I think, the smart choice to not go in on this one, and instead are going to start looking for a possible Baron play, but they have to stop that Kaisa if they're going to be looking for anything. Nasus going to be sticking around that bot lane, does not have TP available, and the rest of Maverick Esports are going to be going in with that Mega Gnar, but Akron will be backing away, and we won't be seeing anything come up just yet. But Maverick Esports are going to be rotating onto that Baron. They're going to be forcing Akron to do something here. That Baron is going to be brought a little bit low. The Kaisa is still going to be there, and the Maokai ult will be shown. That's going to be rooting 2 members. Make that 3 members of Maverick Esports, and that Kaisa has not yet jumped onto, but that will be Jace going down, and a double kill for Maverick Esports as 2 members go down, and this is the fight that you need if you're Maverick Esports. 3 members of Akron are down, and this will be the Maokai falling, but Vex is going to actually be getting taken down, but the Maokai is still alive, and the Baron will be getting reset here, but that will be Nasus taking a lot of damage and does go down. Will we see the miracle steal here from the Maokai as he's looking for it? But that's Pursuit going to be going after, forcing the Maokai away, and that will be Baron going over to Maverick Esports. 4 kills to Maverick Esports. Make that the ace, as that Maokai will not be getting away there, and Maverick Esports take it away, and they get their groove back and are looking to push hard and fast here as they are only needing a few more turrets to start tearing down some inhibitors.
Yeah, that is exactly the fight you want there. If you're Maverick Esports, you get picked, you lose the last 2 fights. Things aren't looking too good, even though you are up in money and objectives. Winning a team fight and getting Baron out of it is a huge step up for them now.
That 7-kill lead is going to be absolutely huge, as they also now have 1 Dragon, 1 Baron, and this Baron is going to do some work on these turrets, and it does look like they're going to be opting for maybe a 1-3-1. Not sure where the Gnar is going to be going here for, but the Rakan looking to clear away some of this pressure and get those minion waves out of that mid lane, and now the focus is going to be brought onto that bot side here. And never mind, looks like we're going to be seeing Pursuit coming in with the TP. We got 4 members of Maverick Esports sitting on that mid side. That will be the Maokai ult getting popped once again. The fight is going to be scattered all over the place, and that will be the Leona getting caught out as Nasus will be getting the kill, and Maverick Esports is going to be forced to retreat out. Pursuit taking a lot of damage, but the Mega Gnar is going to be coming up here very quickly. Now, Vex is going to be starting to get some poke, and Maverick Esports may be looking for the rotation, but that will be Kaisa jumping onto Vex and taking her out. But they might have bitten off a little bit more than they can chew here. Maverick Esports are getting a beautiful Gnar push on there, but Pursuit will be falling as Clippers is still just doing so much damage. And Paragon takes down the Rakan, and that's a triple kill. Make that a quadra kill for oh gosh, my brain completely shut off on the team name, but that's an ace for the blue side, and Akron, that's what it is, will be getting what they need to shut down this Baron play and keep this game going.
Yeah, it's really hard taking that fight there without Leona because she got picked earlier because she ran into Maokai ult, leading to her getting chain CC'd to death. Now you have to deal with a Kaisa who you can't see a lot, and she's just going to wipe your whole team. It was close for Maverick Esports. They had an opportunity there. Issue was that they just got hit too much from the Kaisa, who just steamrolled all of them.
And the Nasus teleport comes in, and actually it looks like it does end up getting, oh no, it did go through. So now that's going to be a 3rd dragon going over to the side of Akron, and this game continues to be extended as Maverick Esports are still sitting at about a 5K gold lead, but there is so much gold in that Kaisa, and honestly, even that Jace as well, with 5 kills and 14 assists. That Jace is a force to be reckoned with here. And so it'll be huge for Maverick Esports to watch the Jace, watch the Kaisa, and find the picks where it matters, and trying to keep them from just continuing to pour damage into the rest of their team. But Pursuit's going to be looking for that Nasus, is not going to let them get away with pushing this stacked minion wave. and that will be Nar forcing the Nasus out. But the rest of Maverick Esports noticing the play happening around mid. The 1-3-1 is going to be getting pulled out as that's a huge rotation up onto that top side as Ollie might have bitten off a little bit more than they can chew as the Jace pushes forward, but Ollie gets away with his life.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to play aggressive here at any point where you don't have vision on the Kaisa, because a single one of her Ws will not only chunk you out a lot, but it will also send her ulting to your position and just melting the entire rest of your health bar. So it is very hard to walk up.
And Kaisa is such a hard champion to get the picks on, too, because she can just move all over the place. So you have to be really careful if you are Maverick Esports to how you're going to be playing around this one. However, the Rakan will be going a little bit too far. Beautiful stop there, but the Jace is going to be moving in onto that Leona. The Maokai ult will be popped to try and maybe get something, but the Rakan does go down. Overshock's getting a lot of damage. Maokai will be taken low as well. Kaisa is going to be backed away, is not going to be out in this fight the way that they want them to be, but that's going to be Clippers taking a lot of damage, but they are unstoppable as Leona goes down, but there's so many health bars of Akron are down. That's going to be Nasus going down. That's going to be Jace going down. 4 kills for 1 in favor of Maverick Esports, and they're breaking the base here in this one, and they're going to be looking. They aren't going to be looking for the Nexus at this point, are they? They might be.
Those death timers are looking really long. Kaisa is the only one up alive here. I mean, if they land any CC on her, she's dead, and then they have no one.
They're definitely looking for it. That Nar is
they're just going to
zoning up
try and
out.
end the game.
Maverick Esports are looking to win the game. Rakan just come back up. 3 more seconds left in that Maokai, but it might not matter because that will be Maverick Esports taking that one in a clean 2-0 sweep against Akron. Very well done. Maverick Esports win this series and take another victory in the NACE Star League here this season.
Definitely a lot more of an interesting game this time around. That's for sure. The enemy Kaisa there was a force to be reckoned with. There was a lot of scary moments where even though Maverick Esports was up a lot of gold and turrets, that Kaisa was just putting out a lot of damage, single-handedly turning those team fights around. But it's good that Maverick Esports was able to just win one too many team fights in the late game there and end the game.
Absolutely. That one was definitely a lot more back and forth, a lot different than how I was expecting that second game to go, especially when you take the momentum from the first game that Maverick Esports had, carrying that into game number 2. They were steamrolling a lot, but at the same time, once that Jace and that Kaisa got a lot of money in their pockets, it just became very difficult. But thankfully, when it comes to League of Legends, sometimes it's just one good team fight that you need to finish that one out.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. Are we going to be doing an interview, or are we going to be ending it there? I'm not sure.
I don't think we will be. I'm pretty sure people want to be going home here as the game was delayed an hour. So.
That's true. Everybody's probably pretty tired.
Unless we may.
I mean, I'm down for an interview. So, all right, it looks like we're going to be bringing Ollie in here for an interview. Not only the coach, but also a substitute player. He's going to be hopping in here. Ollie, welcome. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
How you feeling after that?
I'm feeling good, especially after the first game. I felt really good. But the second game, I think we were having a little bit too much fun. Which kind of, we almost threw the game once Kaisa got a quadra, and then we made a couple macro mistakes around the map. And then after that, the morale was a little low, but I still feel like as a team, if we played the best we could make a comeback that game, and that we did. So
were you guys like purposely just trying to like try something new, or were you just like, we played really strong in that first game. Let's mess around a little bit.
No, I've been wanting to play the Udyr just because I think it's good, and especially if they go like Maokai, because if they go Maokai Kaisa, that suggests that I didn't know it was Kaisa from draft because they first picked Maokai, and then I picked Udyr into Xayah, but like. Usually when you pick Maokai, you pair with Xayah, you pair with like Jinx Lulu or something, but then we banned the Jinx. I mean, we banned the Lulu, so they didn't have the option for hyper carry. And then Kate's and Ezreal were banned, so they have no poke, which is why Xayah is good. But then I wanted to pick Udyr just because if they do decide to pick a poke comp, which kind of like with it, slows it down, and then hard engages with the Kaisa and backline, I wanted to pick something that I can tank spells for my team. And Udyr is pretty good at that because I just press W, I get like 500 HP shield.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
And then I run around the map, I move faster than Maokai, so yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. Udyr definitely outspeeds the Maokai there.
Yeah.
So obviously, you're feeling pretty good about a 2-0 win. What
Mhm.
are some of the biggest takeaways that you're going to be looking for going deeper into the season for your team?
I think we have to refine our macro. I'm gonna be honest, because I feel like we played well for the early game and like halfway through the mid game, but around the time that Baron spawns and around third drag, I feel like we always like either have like 4 people mid and then we're losing top waves or we're losing bot waves or something like that. We don't really have like people pushing out lanes in a way that we can actually like force the objectives in like a spot that I'm super comfortable with. Because like if we go drag for example and like bot wave isn't shoved, that we're losing so many resources by not claiming that wave, and then we don't have
Yeah.
control over like the bot side of the map then. So I feel like we need to like kind of rail that in, improve on that. But otherwise, I think we're playing well. I think mechanically we're all pretty decent at the game. It's just I think the biggest takeaway is just the macro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw it here. You know, you guys were joking about whether or not you could play without your main jungler, and you definitely proved that here today.
Yeah.
So, who's your next matchup against?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked yet.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
wow! You're the coach, and you're not even up to
No, I'm gonna
speed
be
on your own
honest.
schedule.
I usually check like the day of or the day before.
Wow.
Just because then I've like, because then I spend like an hour to like an hour and a half just thinking about like the draft and stuff like that and thinking
Okay.
about how we'll play, and yeah, and also like if we had Dan this year, I would draft a lot different because he isn't exactly comfortable. Well, I think he's comfortable in J4 and these kind of like tank champs, but he is much more comfortable in his like carry champs such as the Nidalee or the Graves and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I would obviously draft differently.
Yeah.
So
For sure. That
Yeah.
does make a lot of sense. Well, with that, thank you so much, Ali, for the wonderful interview and giving us a
No
little bit
problem.
of insight on your guys' thoughts going into the season. And with that, that is going to do it for us here tonight at Maverick Esports. Thank you guys so much again for joining us here. I know it's a late night for us here, a little bit later than we're used to. But if you guys are tuning in for the first time and want to continue to support, make sure you guys are following Esports MNSU all across social media. We're on Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, so that way you guys can stay up to date on all things Maverick Esports. And with that, my name is Zojalix. Thank you guys again so much for joining us here, and we will see you guys all next time here at Maverick Esports. You guys all have a wonderful rest of your night.
Peace out.
with Mavericks Esports. Sign up for our newsletter, scan this code, or visit esports.mnsu.edu and follow us on social media at esportsmnsu.